What is up, everybody? It's your boy Jake, aka Korean Jew Trading, and welcome to the good, the bad, and the Pumpy Gather Network. Yes, I am excited for this one. I'm pumped up. Before we get into it, this is not financial advice. Always do your own research. I implore you, do your own research. Cryptocurrencies are high risk, so I try to put you in the right position. And the good, bad, and the Pumpy is the model where I'll give you what I think is good, and we'll go over the fundamentals of it and what makes sense, and then we'll go over the bad, and almost all of these have flaws. This is a speculative asset, so I don't care what anybody says, any cryptocurrency, there will be some bad too. It's not just all good. And lastly, we go over the Pumpy, where I kind of tie together the fundamentals that we discuss as well as the technical. So we'll be looking at the charts, and I'll basically be giving you my thesis on why I think this particular coin has pump potential. So without any further ado, I want to get into it. So let's get started. We're talking about Gather Network, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Let's do it. Okay, let's get into the good about Gather. One of the best things about Gather is that it's very easy to explain what they do, even to somebody that's not in cryptocurrency. They are solving a very real problem, and it's not a problem that hasn't been tackled before. Ads. These ads, they come out of everywhere. If you've been on the internet, you know that ads are a major problem. They're constantly jamming them down your throat. And, there are some websites that I used to visit that it's just like every video on there, they hit you with these crazy ads. It just goes on and on. And, maybe be it subconsciously, I end up like not going to the website anymore because it's so annoying. But at the same time, if you have a popular website or you have, great content, you deserve to be compensated. I get it. So what Gather does is it gives creators an alternative to giving their people shitty ads all day in the form of Gather that actually makes them more money and gives their audience a better experience for their content. And how does it do that? What Gather does is it runs a plugin behind the scenes, kind of similar to when you get the notification for cookies. It says, this website runs cookies, and you press the button. It'll give you a similar notification. And what Gather does is it harvests, or gathers rather, a small portion of your computing power that is not being used anyway. This is the same amount of computing power that would actually be used to run that 30-second ad video. And it takes that power, and it takes power from all the people clicking yes and on the websites and the streaming platforms and whatever websites that are running Gather, and it takes that power and it harvests it. That way they can now pay the content creator more money than they would have got for an ad. So the content creator, let's say I have a blog and I have 1 million people clicking on it every day, and instead of giving them these ads, I'm going to run Gather. I'm going to actually make 20% more money, and my subscribers are going to get a better experience. So that's great. Now, where does that power go? That power is then used and sold to businesses who need computing power. AWS cloud services is huge. Gather is able to take that power, extra processing power that's harvested from all these millions of people, or however many, and sell it to businesses. Now, we've heard this before, the creation of a supercomputer, taking everybody's computing power, putting it together. This is definitely a concept that has been, floated around in crypto. The thing that makes Gather so good is that they are actually doing it, right? They have mainnet coming up at the end of Q1. They have 350 clients lined up. They have some of which are large companies. One of them's $1 billion company who is signed on and committed to using Gather's cloud services. So basically, Gather is going to be selling that computing power to this company. On day one, they will have a revenue projected at $350,000 a month. That's just starting with on day one. As this grows, there's definitely tremendous potential. The other thing that they do with the computing power is mining as well. And there are some other things, but I would say, definitely do your own research, learn about the project, but to a layperson like myself, kind of, this is what they're doing. And if they hadn't delivered on it, then that would be a different story. But the fact that there's such a relatively unknown cryptocurrency in the space, and they're actually going to have a business that's making, significant money right off the bat on day one of mainnet, that separates them in my eyes from 99.9% of these other cryptocurrencies. The other thing about Gather is like this is as grassroots a cryptocurrency as it gets. It was literally founded in my trading room by traders. Like traders literally seeded this with $300,000. That was it during 2018. So this was the height of the bull run where ICOs were raising anywhere between $100 and $1 billion. Like, what was it? Like EOS raised like $1 billion. But, it wasn't uncommon to see somebody raising $50 with an MVP. I mean, $50 million with an MVP. They didn't even have any product and they had some white paper and they were getting $50 million. And then when the bear market hit, most of these projects didn't do shit. They didn't do anything. And obviously price tanked. No matter whatever the market conditions, it doesn't matter how good your project is, you're going to feel it, right? But the good ones like Chainlink and there are some Binance Coin, BNB, there are projects that are able to weather even downturns because they're actually getting adoption. They're actually building. And Gather, with a $300,000 raise, the fact that they still are here in 2021, about to go live with mainnet, have clients locked up, it really does say a lot. If you've been in crypto, you understand what I mean. But I think it really puts them on a different playing field as most of these others. I mean, they're going to be making money day one from clients, from their blockchain. These other guys, the only way they make money is by selling you tokens, right? Like that's all they do is sell you tokens. They give you this grand idea of what they're going to do, but they get rich selling you the tokens. And Gather is going to be buying their own tokens back from the business that they've actually created. So I think, not to say that, not to put other projects down or anything, but in my opinion, this is a very key difference. And, they've withstood the test of time. And now it's time to get paid, really, for them because, it's been 3 years of grinding. And, here we are. So, that's what I would say is good about Gather. Now let's talk about what's bad. So part of what makes it Gather good also makes it bad, if that makes sense. One of the things is masternodes. The masternodes, I believe there are 70 running right now, 70 reserve slots. I think there are going to be 80 total, so there's one more batch. What happens is Reggie, the founder, releases a list that, first come, first serve. And once you apply and send your tokens, then you can reserve your slot for a masternode. For reserve masternodes, they're currently paying out 50% APY, I think on a bi-weekly. So once the mainnet is live, that number will reduce. They also offer great liquidity providing options for swaps like Uniswap, on Uniswap actually, sorry. And, that's good because when Gather was very, very cheap, you could run a masternode. The original one was 250,000 tokens. Then it went up to 275. I would anticipate the next one will probably be 300. But, the thing is, once mainnet goes live, the amount of tokens released will be less. But, these masternode holders and people providing liquidity, that creates more tokens into the supply, which then in turn, in theory, logically, would create additional selling pressure. So, this is what I mean by like what's good is bad. The token emission is a little bit higher than I'd like personally, but I don't think it's enough. Like there are other projects out there with massive amount of tokens, like that get released from their seed investors and stuff. So I don't think that like paying to get the masternode people is going to be too much of a problem in the future, especially if they're able to get adoption. One of the other things that is quote unquote bad would be, the team's lack of gravitas, let's say. Listen, I've known Reggie for the past 3 years. I've met him in person. Reggie doesn't have the pedigree of, some of these other projects that I've seen that raise hundreds of millions of dollars. And I've if you've been in crypto for some time, you've read plenty of a white paper where it had all this list of all these advisors. Oh, this guy was on Wall Street. This guy worked for Coca-Cola. This guy did this. This guy did that. Oh, Morgan Stanley. Oh, okay. And the fucking project dumps 99%, and they dumped right on your head. So just because they have a bunch of people that worked at like Goldman Sachs, that doesn't necessarily equate to profitability, right? Projects that are going to do well are the ones that actually deliver, okay? And as far as the team is concerned, these guys have proved it to me. The fact that they've been here for the past 3 years, and now, I mean, it's just like they're making one partnership after the next. The project is going live. They're onboarding big clients. This shit is real. The fact that they were able to deliver on this, yeah, maybe they don't have big credentials going into Gather, but the next thing they work on, they're going to use Gather as their credentials because they're building something, right? So that's what I say to the people that say, the team isn't, that experienced or whatever. The team could be stronger. I think the team is phenomenal. But from like if you're like a YouTuber or something and you're just doing your cookie cutter approach to looking at a project, they might gloss over the team and say, hey, I don't see any Goldman Sachs here. This is bad, right? So the third thing that is bad, that is also good actually, but I understand it's bad, is the chart. So we'll talk about the chart. Might as well get into the Pumpy here too, because clearly this is an extremely bullish chart. That's part of what is bad for you, who is just now finding about Gather right now. You didn't buy the bottom, okay? But just because you didn't buy the bottom doesn't mean that it's not something good to be involved with, right? Be comfortable with buying something that's going up at times. Because if something's just going down, it might be going down for a reason. And if something's going up, it might be going up for a reason. So, if you follow on my Twitter or the streams or, even my YouTube, I interviewed Reggie on the same channel. I've been talking about Gather since it was in this wave here, and it started to break out of this at 3 cents. So some of you followers may already be in this, if you are, good for you. But, if you're just, frankly, I did this video because I have the feeling that there's going to be more and more excitement around this project because it's relatively unknown. It's only a 17 million cap right now, even after this pump. But the thing is, it's still 17 million cap. And we've seen projects do 100x, 1000x. These things can happen, especially if the environment is correct and the project gets adoption. Now, what I do think is we might as well do the Pumpy right now because we're finishing up with the bad. I just want to talk about the chart and give you guys what I think about this. If you follow me on Twitter, I definitely have posted some fleets to kind of give you an idea of what to expect. But the bottom line is this is just making bull flags, like bull flag, bull flag, bull flag. This was a bull flag. Like, they're just bull flag. Nice structure. Bull flag. And now it's making another bull flag. But the bottom line is this thing, like, it's bullish until it isn't. The volume is rising. Mainnet is coming. And it's just starting to become on the map now. So, in my opinion, I'm not saying, like, run out and buy this second. But it's something that you want to pay attention to, definitely. You want to watch for when mainnet comes. You want to see if there's any additional partnerships in the horizon. And frankly, you want to buy dips because right now this is only up. It's only up. And we've broken above, like, basically the high of the listing. The volume is rising higher than it's ever been. And people are discovering this. So that's part of my selfishness is, I wanted when all these noobs come and they start to hear about Gather, I wanted them to see this video because I think that we provide here at KJ Trading a little better quality of a video than some of these other guys. I'm going to tell you like it is. Obviously, you're a little late, but it's better late than never. Let's put it that way. And, the chart kind of speaks for itself. I think alts still have tremendous potential. If you enjoy, technical analysis, definitely tune into the streams. On the past stream, we discussed very much what our expectations are for alts going forward, so definitely check that out. But I think there's definitely still some room left. The other thing with this chart is that's Gather versus USD. This is Gather versus Ethereum. And if you look at this, Gather versus ETH, right? Right here, this is the neckline of the bear market. So when it lists, it goes into a bear market. This is the level that you really want to kind of get above to kind of signal a bull market starting. And we just crossed it and we retested it exactly, which held. Not certain that this doesn't do a bull flag here and then break up. But if this gets bullish against Ethereum, the USD pairing has massive potential. So, that's pretty much the bad and the pumpy combined in one. I don't like to make these videos too long, but yeah, I think I've said it all. I mean, go and do your own research, check it out. Right now, Gather is trading on Uniswap, Gate.io, and BitThumb, I believe. And, I think that they definitely need additional centralized exchanges. Uniswap is great for people that are used to it and people of higher net worth in crypto, but I feel like not being like Uniswap definitely prices out like the little guy with the cost of the swaps and the transfers. So it would be nice to see them get another exchange, and I know the team has said that they're working on that. So keep your eyes peeled for that. And I think that's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed the video. And stay tuned for the next Good, Bad, and the Pumpy and streams. I'm going to be doing a lot of content. So, yeah, once again, if you enjoy, make sure to like, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you soon. Thanks.